Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Dani Walker. Welcome to my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't done so already. Give this video a like, a thumbs up, share it with all of your friends, and I really just hope that it's going to be able to provide more insight into the whole Miss USA experience, or for all of you who are not familiar with pageants and you somehow stumbled upon this video in the wee hours of the morning as you were just getting lost in the depths of YouTube, that this is in some ways entertaining to you. It's been, gosh, okay, when was Miss USA? May, June, July. 2 months. It's been about 2 months since Miss USA, and it's been absolutely insane. So Miss USA lasted 11 days. I got there several days before. I wanted to spend some time in the city with my aunt, and then I stayed a couple days after as well to sort of do the same thing and just relax and explore a little bit more, because when you're at Miss USA, you're at Miss USA. You are not on your own. You don't have free time. Basically, Miss Universe owns you. This is so different doing a recap of the show from behind the scenes. I have always dreamt of this. I am so glad I can do this. And the very first day that we got there, it was our registration and our check-in, and we did not have very much information on that day. I remember texting several of the title holders asking what time is check-in. We had no idea. So I text my director, and she didn't know what time check-in was in, and then finally we got an email the day of from MUO saying, "Hey ladies, we can't wait to see you. Please come with light makeup. Please bring a white t-shirt and jeans, and then athletic wear," and all these different things. So we were quite thrown off by that, and I had literally just finished putting on a full face of glam makeup. I was ready to go. I was ready to check in for the pageant, and then I get that email and I start like washing off my face right before I went in to check-in. And check-in wasn't at a specific time. I had no idea. It's just arrive in the morning at some point before 1 o'clock. And when you get there, you take all of your stuff, all of your luggage up to your room, and then they give you like a couple minutes, settle in for a moment. Don't stay up there forever. Go downstairs with your evening gown and what they requested for us to bring, so all those items of clothing. And then when you check in, they gave us this long checklist, and there were all these stations, and it was up to us to visit every one of the stations. So the stations were for, oh my goodness, our medical form. We had to check our bio, so what the judges read, we don't compile that. MUO takes a bunch of information that they asked us for, and then they create our bio sheet for the judges, and then we approve it before we go into interview. And then it was really cool because we got to sit down with Nick, and if you guys are familiar, he's the guy that creates all of the rhymes for the preliminary show. I always thought that that would be so cool to have my own little rhyme at Miss USA. And so you actually get to sit down with Nick, and he goes over that rhyme with you to make sure you're okay with that. You approve that. Let's see, they had us register to vote this year. They're doing a whole voting initiative, so we all took part in that. We also donated clothes to, it was sort of like a princess project, so it was for girls locally who needed a prom dress or a homecoming dress, so all of us donated dresses for that. Then we had to get things going for the show. We had to get our evening gowns approved. Yes, there are approvals, there are rules. For example, your dress can't be too sheer. If it is, they will put a liner inside of it for you. If your slit is too high, they will put a liner in there. If your dress is too low or too much side boob, if any of those things are happening, your dress can't be in the show, so they adjust it for you. And basically that means they just take it, and the next time you see your dress is on preliminary night. You get in line for your opening number dress, and this year we didn't have too much of a choice. So there were multiple racks, and then you had to find the rack with your name, and there was a mixture of names on each rack, not in alphabetical order, and every rack was one color. So my rack was what they call the mocha color for the opening numbers. So I could choose any style in that color. And by the time I got to that station, they didn't have too many styles left. They were practically the same dress, so it really didn't matter. So I just chose a dress, and then they took up the strap, so they did all the alterations for that. And then they had us pick out our earrings right there for our opening number outfit and for our swimsuit. So I had planned ahead. I brought all of that stuff with me. I didn't know that they have us wear whatever they have, and that's just first come first serve. We fit our shoes. That was something that surprised me. So they fit us for our opening number shoe, which we did not get to select, and then for our swimsuit shoe, which also we didn't pick. We all wore the same swimsuit shoes, and then they did their best to adjust them. So I know some girls couldn't even wear the shoes that they gave them because they didn't have their size, so they had to wear something from home. My shoes didn't fit, so they added extra holes on the side so then I could be able to not fall on them on stage. Then they take all of that away. Then we had to start doing things for the show, for like B-roll footage. So we had to get our hair and makeup done by Chi and The Perfect Face, who were our sponsors. We took photos with them, and then after we met with them, we were supposed to film our UCAP, and that's essentially the video that they play and that you get to see during the final show if you make top 15, or you can view all of them on social media. So those are out there. And then we were doing Chi hair care tutorials. So registration lasted for about 2.5 days. The second day was the day that I got my swimsuit fitted, and it wasn't necessarily, at least to my knowledge, first come first serve, because they ended up starting to just call us in different groups. So unfortunately, I didn't have a great choice or selection of swimsuits. By the time I got there, all the solid swimsuits that were in my size were gone. So there were only pattern swimsuits, which I was not excited about. I just don't wear too many patterns in life. So I really wanted a solid colored swimsuit, and they didn't have anything in my size. That was a bummer, but that's literally the option that they gave us, so I couldn't do anything about it. So the first few days were fittings, and then it rolled into all of the activities that we did around the city. So if you guys followed the social media or my social media, you would have seen the Mardi Gras parade. We went to the Shreveport Municipal Auditorium, which was a great historical site. I personally got to go ziplining. Other girls went to an aquarium. Other girls went on a boat in the bayou, which was really cool. I wish I could have done that one too. We did the welcome dinner at the Silver Star Smokehouse, which was so fun. We got to see our families there, and that was country themed. I loved that. And those were just fun. It was just time with the girls, fun outfits that we got to wear. We did Taste of Shreveport, where I got to try crawfish and fried alligator for the first time, and I vlogged all of that. So if you guys want to see that stuff, that's in my vlog playlist and my Miss USA playlist, so you guys can check all that out. And then after several days, we started doing rehearsals. Now what's interesting is about the rehearsals is that they're not held in the auditorium till the very, very end. So people kept asking me, how did the stage look? And the only thing we were seeing in the background was an empty ballroom with taped off dimensions that matched the stage. Those rehearsals were more for the benefit of the crew, so they were constantly timing everything, and that's how they make the show run on time and fast. Everything's timed. So every contestant gets the same amount of time on stage. That was something interesting, learning about the camera angles and how they work. I've always wondered about this. When I've watched the show in the past, I was like, why does she get a face shot and then like this girl doesn't? And that's just because the cameras are on a timer. So as a contestant, if I did not hit a certain X on the stage at a certain point in time, then the camera, no matter what, was gonna be, you know, hitting me in a certain spot. So that was interesting to learn. And to help us do that, there's a man, and he's at the end of the runway, and he will tell us if we're going too slow. So he's just like, come this way. And then if you have time, he will hold you at the end, and then he'll say, go this way, exit the stage. So that's what they were doing for opening number, for the preliminary competition, and for finals. We didn't have to count. We didn't have to think about what was going on. We just had to watch Jeff. The other thing that was interesting was that during prelims, we are instructed to look at the judges, but during finals, we don't. The judges are only supposed to look at the teleprompter screen thing in front of them, which is also where they punch in the scores. They also told us that the judges have a certain amount of time to log their scores for each contestant. So at their desk, there is a red light, a yellow light, and a green light. So when you first walk out, it's green. When you've used up half of your time on stage, it's yellow, so the judges know, oh no, I better write something. And then if it turns red, their computer shuts off, it moves to the next girl, and your score does not get logged by that judge. Well, so really the judges have that option to say, I'm not gonna score this girl. My overall impression, it was so different being there, because I feel like everybody walks in and we all have, I've mentioned this in other videos, like this game plan, what you're gonna do. It's not really an option. They're going to use whatever footage they want of you. They are going to, you know, cut and edit all of your UCAP videos to showcase something specific about you. So that was interesting because all of us, when we went to go film those UCAPs, they asked us all pretty much the same questions. There were a couple questions that were unique to us. So when I walked in, they were asking us, what's something that your dad taught you growing up as a kid? And it would bounce from something like that instantly to, have you ever had a Me Too moment? I was so thrown off by that. They asked us a question basically relating to gun violence in America. They wanted to know all of our opinions pretty much on political issues, current events, and then they asked us fun things. And then all of us had no idea what our videos were gonna look like. So it was really interesting to see. So some of the stuff I talked about in my UCAP, it was funny because the things I were referencing and the video clips that they paired with it didn't match. So they pulled video clips from when I was working with Donate Life America for organ donation, but I was talking about my YouTube channel and how I wanted it to be influential for young women. And it's so funny, I thought it was a little strange because I had submitted numerous video clips of all the volunteerism that I've done with children or with young girls or speaking to them, and none of that was used. And I just thought it was a little strange, especially because when we submit it, we submit to these big Dropbox files. So all of the photos and videos you see of us, that's all in Dropbox. Mine was really organized, so it had basically chronological order, and then volunteerism and accolades, awards, pageants when you're younger. You have all of this footage and all of these videos that you submit about a month before the pageant, and they didn't use any of that stuff. They pick and choose, and it's totally up to them what they want to showcase about you, and you just never know. That was interesting. We were all literally sitting there like, oh no, what are they gonna post of us? And then a lot of people were asking us about the staging and how the show would look, and I really didn't know because we got into the venue, I'd say the day before. It still wasn't how it was gonna look with all of the sets. So all of the screens that you saw on television, they had placeholders there, or there were just fill in the blank graphics around us. And then we couldn't see the camera angle, so the auditorium looked very different from what they were filming on television. So we were really in the dark. Aside from that, I mean, it exceeded my expectation. I was so surprised because you hear all of these stories about girls, and girls say, oh, we knew she was gonna win from the beginning, and all of those conspiracy theories. I just think this. They treated us so well from the moment that we walked in. The staff was incredible, the organization. They really emphasized how special it was for us to be just even state title holders, that the title was about so much more than a pageant. There was this emphasis on how important it is for us to be involved in our communities and politics. If you guys don't know this, Paula Shugart, the president of the organization, is very politically involved in her local community, and she wants to empower young women, hence the voting initiative, to be involved as well, because it's important. The way that we vote and the choices that we make in our political activities and views, it sways American life. It changes things. I was just very surprised. It wasn't like a normal pageant. The way that I interpreted it, that it was communicated to us, it was really about empowering women, strengthening this sisterhood, and being impactful in your state and nationally. And it was amazing. They just encouraged us that no matter what happens at this weekend, like, we want to see all of the contestants be successful, and USA has done a great job of that. So many of their title holders have gone on, Miss USA crown or not, to achieve incredible things. It was just so inspiring to be there. It was so inspiring. I had the best time. That was really, I guess, my experience. I had an incredible roommate. Shout out to Liz. It was just above and beyond because we had the best time in our room every night. We were just laughing. We stayed up way later than we had to every night because we had the best time together, and that's why since then we've done a trip together already, and we are planning many more of those. So you guys, I had the best time. Ever since then, I have been traveling like crazy. I love it. I visited so many other states and different pageants, and that's what I'm here right now. I'm actually supporting my cousin. She's the current International United Miss, but by the time this is posted, she will have crowned her successor. So we're here in New Jersey, and I get to be here with her and cheer her on. I've had the best time, and I'm just getting so many new opportunities, and I'm getting to see my channel grow, which was one of my biggest goals. Just winning my state title was to grow my YouTube channel, to be more impactful, and to just live a life that I've always dreamed of, and to encourage other people to do the same. I think that's so important. There's literally so much. I could talk about this forever, but if you guys have specific comments, please leave those in the section below. If I get enough questions, maybe I'll do a follow-up video just answering all of your guys' questions for that. Other than that, thank you so much for watching this episode. Please subscribe to this channel. I will be creating lots more content for you, answering all of your pageant questions, or life questions, or fashion questions, whatever you want. Follow me on Instagram at Dani Walker, at Pageant Access, and for a limited time at MissMVIP as well. So thank you guys for joining me for this episode. Please like and share and subscribe. Love you. Bye.